please welcome the wickedly talented
Betches Video Club.
There's a mistake. You guys won Best Picture.
Hello and welcome back to the Betches Video Club, where the Betches Video team talks all things movies and television. It's just like book club, but with more screens. This month, we're all bringing our favorite nostalgic spooky movies to the table. So, naturally, my movie is Disney's classic, Hocus Pocus.
Who could have guessed? Wow.
Your hosts today are...
Tess Tregellis.
Brian Russell Smith.
Madeline Mahoney.
And Jack Maloney, a.k.a. Winifred Sanderson.
You look incredible. Can I just say?
You look amazing.
Thank you guys.
Where did you
Show the
acquire,
boots.
Where'd you acquire all these
The
pieces?
boots.
Walk us through a fit
For
check.
those
Okay, fit check.
listening,
Guess what? Ready?
Jack is dressed in a head-to-toe Winifred outfit.
Head to
Head to
toe.
toe.
Okay.
I don't know if we
Okay.
can see that. Where did I acquire everything? All right, ready for this?
Yes.
Amazon.
Got it.
Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay.
Even the boots. Amazon.
No.
Wow.
What
It's
about-
all Amazon.
What about that magical necklace?
Amazon. Came with the wig.
And you're wearing some lovely cheek and lip.
CVS Pharmacy.
CVS
Wow.
Pharmacy.
Oh, that's
Yep.
where you went.
So yep,
Ducked out
that's
during
right.
the day.
That's what I ducked out for. That's what I ducked out for.
Stunning.
You look gorgeous.
This has been a dream character of mine for so long. I'm so glad I finally get to play it on the big screen or the small screen, whichever way you look at it.
Depending
I think
on how you watch.
Or
framing is
audio.
I am so excited to talk about this movie, though. It's been one of my favorites since I was a child, which is why it's nostalgic for me. So just to give everybody a quick reminder about what Hocus Pocus is about, the official summary is that a teenage boy named Max and his little sister Dani moved to Salem, Massachusetts, where they struggle to fit in before awakening a trio of diabolical witches that were executed in the 17th century. So
Iconic.
that's really what it is. It was directed by...
That's really what it is.
That's
guys.
really what
I
the
don't
movie
care what
is.
anyone else has told you. That's really what it is.
That's what Hocus Pocus is. It was directed by Kenny Ortega, who we may know of High School Musical and
Shout
Descendants.
out.
Yes.
He's also a choreographer. He choreographed High School Musical, also Descendants. He also directed Newsies, the Newsies movie, which I know you love, Tess.
Wait, the old?
Yes, the original.
The OG?
Christian Bale?
The ninth. Yes.
That's like your
correct.
first
Is that one of
crush.
your
Remember? We
favorites?
just talked
that
about
was my
this.
that was my awakening of sexuality.
Exactly.
Really?
I remember
Yes.
this distinctly.
We talked about it at your wedding.
Stop.
Yeah.
And we talked about
And if
everyone's.
anybody wants to keep talking about that, just let me know. I am back from it now, but still there in my head.
Yes.
Also, cross promo. He also directed a ton of episodes of Gilmore Girls.
Shout
Go
out.
listen to our Gilmore Girls episode. It's wonderful, darling. But before we get into talking more about my favorite Halloween movie of all time, I do have one little question for all of you. If you could magically fix something in your life, what would it be?
In my life?
Yes, if you could
I
do a
can't-
spell to fix something.
What about like world peace? No.
Yeah, like how big are we talking?
Let's talk about your life, not like
Okay,
not macro world issues.
Immediate life, day to day.
Your immediate life.
I would have perfect skin all the time with and I would fix all of my problems.
So you're basically a
All of your
Sanderson sister.
Yes,
You just want to look
actually.
younger. You just want to look younger.
Yeah, I would suck the soul of a child to
Perfect.
have perfect skin.
Me too, Brian. Maddie Ham.
I would suck the soul of a child to be able to teleport. I love traveling, but the worst part about traveling is getting there.
Right.
It's actually, when you're traveling, it's not about the journey. It is about the destination.
Oh, but I beg to
So,
differ.
no, honey, no. No one needs to be on a flight for 18 hours.
But if you travel by broom, that's pretty fun.
I think that would be uncomfortable, at least as a girl, for
Yeah.
18 hours on
Poor
broom.
You know what?
guy.
You're so
Poor
right.
guy. Unless you're going side saddle with it. But
Yeah.
my back is really not good for that.
Not good for broom riding.
Not good for broom riding. It would throw my back out instantly. I just know it. And there's no euphemism there. I think I would want, so I would want,
Ride that wood pull, darling.
I would want teleportation. Yeah.
Teleportation. Tess.
Are these like superpowers?
No, I mean, well, it can be. So sort of that counts.
Well,
like she
it
said,
fixed
if you
the
could fix
problem in
something,
my
so
life.
she wants to travel so
traveling.
she can
okay,
teleport.
Okay. I'd read minds.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
I would never.
I would.
But like, you can turn it off, right?
no.
No.
Tess, that's going to be
Oh,
a
that's
curse.
scary.
Exactly.
That's a Cursington.
And a plot for my new movie that I'll write.
Called
can't wait.
Hocus Hocus.
Called I don't know, but I think I'd read minds.
Really? Just so you know what other people are thinking about you or thinking about in general?
Oh no, I'd be invisible. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. Did you get those confused?
No, I just like that other one better. I'd
You
rather be
can
invisible.
turn that off though, right? Because I know you love to be seen.
I love to be
Yeah.
seen, but I'd love to like not be seen and then hear what people are saying.
Fly on the
behind
wall.
my back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So she can turn it
Walk
off.
into a
Yeah.
bank and steal all the money.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I love that. Should I get into some fun facts about
Yes,
the
please.
film? Okay, so the original release in theaters in 1993 was actually a flop.
No.
They lost $16 million on the movie, which is a lot of money,
Especially in that
Especially in
time.
that time. That's like about 30, 35 these
Yeah.
days, which is crazy. That was only 30 years ago. Shows how things are going.
We're diving right into
And-
the politics of it. I love
Yep,
that.
the politics of Hocus Pocus. But what kind of resurrected the film is the subsequent showings on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
David Kirshner, who did the story but didn't write the screenplay, he came up with this idea because he was sitting on his porch with his daughter, and a black cat jumped up onto the porch. And so he like created this whole story about how witches turned that cat, a boy, into the cat.
Oh, that's so cute.
And that's sort of the basis of Hocus Pocus, if you know.
I
you
have
know.
a black cat. Shout out my cat.
Originally, Winifred was written for Cloris Leachman. Do we know Cloris?
No.
Of Cloris.
That era of female comedians, they were all sort of like big, brassy, like
My,
body.
my exact favorite vibe.
Yeah, I don't know.
My vibe,
Brassy
famously.
just feels like the word.
Brassy
right?
body.
Yeah.
Bold, bodacious.
Yeah.
But what happened was the production on the movie was stalling because they couldn't like figure it out. And then Bette Midler caught wind of the script and she expressed interest. And she was like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And she did it. And she said that was the most fun she had had in her career up to that point, which you can tell.
Yeah, you can
Because
tell.
if you watch her performing, she's eating it up. And you know what? I would die to do a character like that. Like
You're doing it
she's-
right now.
Who lit the black flame candle? Like she had so many like ups and downs and this and that. And
Yeah.
she got to be a witch. So it's like there's no rules.
There's no
like you
rules.
don't have to be grounded. And
Yeah.
like but even she is sort of ground like her objective is clear and like her wants are clear and it does motivate all the comedy. But she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's ridiculous.
She literally built the most fun character ever.
The most fun, and it's such a cult classic. Leonardo DiCaprio was originally supposed to play Max, and Rosie O'Donnell was supposed to play Mary Sanderson, aka Kathy Najimy.
Oh my god.
But Rosie didn't want to play a mean witch, which is kind of ironic because Kathy's character is definitely the least mean and just sort of goofy
Yeah.
the whole time. And then the last fun thing, Kenny Ortega made them learn how to fly, which they flew. Those flying effects are real. Those are practicals.
They're actually flying.
They're
practicals.
actually flying.
There's
They actually
learn
learned how to
how to
fly.
They
fly.
actually, I heard they took Tinkerbell out of the cryogenic freezer where they keep her
They
at
said,
Disney.
"Bitch, get out here."
They said, "Wake up,
useful for
bitch!
once."
Wake up, bitch! We need your help." No, but those were practical flying effects, which I love. I think you can tell it looks better. It just looks good.
They're
There's
moving.
a couple blue screens, but like you can see that they move. Like when they go off the porch and they're flying on the brooms.
Yeah.
All practical.
Love.
And some of the like lower shots, like in the graveyard and stuff, practical. And Kenny Ortega made them learn how to fly separately so that each witch had their own distinct style
Cute.
of flying. I think that's just fun. I love when directors are so specific about every little thing like that.
Yeah, that's really smart. But I would have wanted to like be in the lesson together.
Yeah.
How fun would that be?
Think sisters in the lesson together. Being like,
Sisters learning how to
"Girl."
fly.
Yeah.
Tess will do that.
Yeah.
We did that for a video.
Oh, sisters, I haven't lost my
Oh,
touch.
sisters. Okay, wait. Can I share a fun fact?
Please.
So you said they shot in Salem. They also shot in
They
Marblehead,
did.
famously. Not to dox myself, but that is where my parents live. When Max is getting bullied, sort of the whole movie, but
The
one of
graveyard?
the graveyard. He's biking through the graveyard after he's had his shoes stolen. He goes up this hill, and there's this really tall building. It's called Abbott Hall. I'm watching. I go, hold on, that's Abbott Hall. Hold on, did they shoot this in Marblehead? And sure enough, they did. I looked it all up. You can go on a tour in Marblehead and Salem of all of the shooting
So I'm
locations.
guessing you haven't gone to
I
see
haven't
those
gone.
destinations. So camp as a concept, right, is something that seems to have a broad definition always.
You mean the
Like
genre,
camp,
the style?
The idea of camp, yes. The style, like the
style.
the
Style.
style of camp. Like think, the Met Gala.
Yeah.
When they did camp, there was a wide range of how people interpret that. Would you consider this movie camp, or would you consider this character comedy?
The only parts out of reality are the Sanderson sisters, whereas the rest of the cast kind of are normal. If that makes sense. Not everyone is elevated.
What would be a classic camp movie?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Got it.
Or also, have you guys seen But I'm a Cheerleader?
Yeah,
That's
Cheerleader.
extremely camp.
I would say one of the other movies we're watching this month, Halloweentown, would be more camp.
Yeah.
It is
And
a little,
Hocus
you know what?
Pocus.
Halloweentown is camp. It's
Yeah.
okay, but it loses some points maybe because it's meant for kids. So I feel like that changes the vibe.
Right. I almost feel like the camp that Hocus Pocus has is like a result of the fandom of it
Yeah.
and not actually inherent to the movie, if that makes sense.
I was literally just gonna say I think it's retroactively camp.
Yes.
which makes it not camp because it
Yeah.
wasn't intentionally
I
camp.
think it's just really good character comedy. But like Brian said, it feels very like justified to me. It doesn't feel like we're doing crazy things just to do crazy things.
My favorite part of the whole movie was just Sarah Jessica Parker. I
Yes.
think this is like one of the best she's ever been in anything. She is sexy, so sexy in this movie, but always just like fucking crazy. My favorite part
dumb.
was when she goes to the road and they're like, it's a black river, and they push her onto it. She's like, it's fun.
Tis fun. Tis fun. Wait,
She's
okay, I have
dancing
a
on
question
it.
about SJP on that note. Do you think this is the hottest she ever was? Because this is
No.
pre-Sex in the City.
No.
You don't?
Please, you guys, that's crazy.
Is it?
Hot Child in the City.
Hotter than Sex in the City?
City, she was
Are you
hot.
a moron?
I think she was so sexy in
Come on,
this.
Jack, don't be silly.
Maybe I'm just hocus pocus
I'm
biased.
not saying she's not sexy in this, but it's not the sexiest she's ever been. She's acting like an idiot.
With huge tits and a gorgeous face and, and hair.
I just think Sex and the City is hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hotter as a concept, but like
no, not
she-
as a concept, as actual fact.
It's
But, like-
it's the makeup, it's the long blonde wig, it's the really thick eyeliner that gives off that kind of like
It's
sexy
not doing
vibe.
it
Okay,
for
but
me and
even
Ted.
as a young gay child, I felt something.
Yeah.
Which is like, come on.
I don't think you were feeling aroused.
But here's the thing.
I think you were jealous.
yeah, I think we wanted to
wanna-
be like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that. No, I wanted to be Winifred.
Yeah,
And
we
I,
know.
I sort of
We
wanted to
know,
be
Jack.
with.
We know.
No, guys, I know it's not clear, but I tend to like Winifred more than the others.
Okay.
Rewatching a movie like this from the 90s,
Yeah.
I get that like they probably were filming the most HD they did back then. But also, it feels a little filtered. It feels like a little grainier, like a little less HD. I feel like stuff these days is so HD, it feels like Uncanny Valley. You know what I mean? Why don't we film like this anymore?
Well, it's also so interesting about when you watch things that are so HD now, they are putting filters on people.
Yeah.
Like, are you watching the morning show?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's so
It's
scary.
crazy.
It's like frame by frame.
Yeah, they're just like their necks,
Yeah.
they're under their eyes, they're just
Yeah.
like blurring everything. Like, just don't shoot in such HD.
I know. I
Too
liked
real.
the level of effects though. I thought they were good. They were good enough for me to like not be taken out of it. And they were practical, which I enjoyed. And it felt appropriate for like the style of movie and like for a kids movie.
And some smart choices, like when they do the spell on Thackeray Binks in the beginning, most of it is on the three witches.
Right,
back
right,
and
right.
forth, and they don't really show him
Thackeray, you mean who
transitioning
I'm
into a cat
dressed
besides the
as?
camera going down.
No, wait.
Right.
When Thackeray gets run over by the car. But then, I mean, come on, you guys. It's like they don't even make a big enough moment out of it for you to actually be like, oh no, Thackeray. Like no one even has time to get upset before there's a prop guy under that ground blowing the balloon to reinflate Thackeray's body.
No,
I was
but
like, I love this.
But that moment makes when he actually dies at the end so much sadder.
Wait,
No, we did.
I felt a really specific way at the end.
How'd you feel?
I guess I was just like, wait, is it too soon to talk about the end?
No, we can talk about it.
Okay. What's his actual name is Thackeray, right?
Thackeray Binks.
It's supposed to be Zachary.
Same
Can we
name as the
just
cat,
say
actually.
that?
That's how you felt the whole
So
time.
actually, his name's Thackeray when he's a boy, and guess what? Also, when he's a cat, hold on, name's still Thackeray.
Okay, so Thackeray, when he comes back to life, I guess in my head, I'd been doing the math the whole time of like, he's from 1700, so he's like an old man.
1693.
And then I was like, okay, yeah, 1693. And so he's like, an old man. He's actually like ancient and should be dead. And then I was like, why is this old man like obsessed with this little girl? Like it was just making me feel really grossed out.
No, I don't feel like it's that though.
I thought it was weird
I know
too.
it's not, but I couldn't get it out of my head. I literally was like, Maddie, it's a teenage boy. Like it's totally fine. And she thought he was a cat. Like we don't need to read into it any more than that.
Also,
But I
he
just
had a little
couldn't-
sister. He sees Emily in her. I think that's the
No,
connection.
he kissed her on the cheek in a way
Yes,
that you're like,
the kiss on the cheek.
and he's like, "I'll be with you always."
No,
or
he
something.
whispered it in her
creepy.
ear. I was like, get away from her.
I was
I
like,
hated it. I hated it.
I didn't like it either. I forgot what he looked like,
Yeah.
and then you see him again, and you're like,
Ugh.
Yeah.
Not.
and he's in like that,
He's in that nasty shirt.
Yeah, that nasty
From
shirt.
I love the
1693.
shirts.
But then he's
That
also-
shirt was a sexual
Shirt.
awakening for
But then
me.
he was also like-
that sits on him just right.
And then his sister's waiting for him. It just was kind of weird.
And she's just Thackeray.
Yeah,
that
What
doesn't
was
make
her
you guys
name?
want to cry.
Emma?
yeah.
Emily.
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 No,
Yeah.
it
Come
didn't.
on. I watched it on the subway and I cried.
No.
In public.
I'm not surprised.
Come on. Give me a break. And the score is going off. It's eating. Is Dani, the younger sister, low-key the worst? Because she is putting Max on the grill at every second she can. Hey guys, guess what? He's a virgin.
He's a virgin.
Virgin.
He's
Disgusting.
16.
He's 15.
That's even proving my point more.
I have a question for the group.
Yeah.
If you guys had lit the black flame candle, would the witches have come back at 15?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They would have
instantly appeared. There would have been no transition.
Well, okay. What
Just
counts as virginity?
That's up to you.
Oh, Brian.
That's what this movie's all about.
He's like, I have done mouth stuff.
Wait, and then they sleep together. They get under that blanket. I'm
Yeah.
going, what's going on under there? We got to close this virgin loop at some
Yeah.
point. You can't make it his whole personality trait, and then
No.
we don't get to.
They harped on
Even
that.
the cop. Remember the cop scene?
Yeah.
Like but also,
But he's
15
not actually a cop, remember?
Oh, right.
And he goes,
So.
are you actually a virgin?
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking loser. But like, wait, this is a movie for kids.
And he
was
looks
no
so-
one
but-
in the writer's room like, okay, maybe we shouldn't say virgin this much.
Can
like,
I be
kids
so
are gonna
for real
ask their
though?
parents.
Watching it as a child, I didn't clock that.
No one did.
at all.
Well, Me neither.
no.
No.
Virgin
no
is
idea
too
what that
big of a
meant.
word. You don't know what it is.
And-
Virgin, you'd be like, what? Okay, he doesn't have like a toe. You wouldn't
Right.
like know.
Like I had no clue. I truly had no clue until I had a clue.
It's one of those things where you watch it back older and you're like, wait, this is crazy.
Yeah. No, there's the fact that 15 is like totally normal to be a virgin, right? Like,
yeah,
it's
that's why I'm
totally normal.
saying Dani's low-key the worst.
If-
She's like, you're a virgin. You're actually a virgin. I'm going to tell everyone we meet this night you're a virgin.
But if
I love her.
If he was like 25, maybe.
Sure.
Also,
40 even.
40.
wait, also Dani also being like 5 seconds after they made up after fighting in the beginning, Allison. Oh, Allison. Max likes your, what do you call them, Max? Her yabos?
Her yabos.
Max likes your yabos. In
She's-
fact,
was that
he loves
boobs?
them.
That was
yes,
boobs.
it was boobs.
Totally inappropriate.
That's a crazy thing to say.
That's a crazy thing
Yeah.
to say.
Met her 3 minutes ago.
No, but that's the thing of like, I can't believe this is a movie for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ratings were different back then. And like you were saying, Brian, it is scary.
Like when they get hung in the beginning,
Oh,
and like, you see their feet
my
dangling, you're
God.
like, Jesus.
I
Yeah.
know.
Did it scare you as a kid?
Yes.
And okay, and I want to hear why. And then also I want to know, are there other like movies like this that were like unintentionally very scary? We all know I have ET trauma.
Of course.
So don't need to rehash that. You can just go watch the episode on it. But tell me.
I was really scared of this. I actually don't think I'd ever watched this in full until this week.
Me too.
You couldn't?
I couldn't finish it. I just could not get into it. It really freaked me out. I didn't like watching it back. I was like, okay, these witches are fun and funny. I did not feel that way when I was younger. The chaotic nature of them was so unpredictable to me. I couldn't decide if I was supposed to like them or be scared of them. Like it just was way too much for my little idiotic brain to handle, I guess. I just didn't get it.
It's not really a kids movie. I don't feel like it is. It's
Really?
like watching it back now. Like I said, like I think a lot of the humor is even based towards adults.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the jokes that like the Madonna stuff and
Yeah.
all
So,
it was just like
but it's
geared
not for
towards
adults.
I don't know.
You think it's for like teens?
I think
maybe?
it's supposed to be,
Maybe.
it's trying to be an appeals to all sectors type of
Yeah.
thing. You know, that's, I think, why they put the virgin bit in there so much, because they're like, we can get away with this, keep it PG, and parents will find this funny.
Yeah.
But they're not
And
casting
I
Bette
did.
Midler being like, oh, the children are gonna love this. It's
No,
like,
but she was definitely but she is a vehicle for who's buying the tickets to the box office, the 8-year-old or the 40-year-old parent.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so she was a vehicle enough for it to move on.
I think the first scene where they're ugly freaked me out, and I was like,
Yes.
I don't want to watch this. And so I never
Why?
saw when
Because
they
they
got
were ugly? Are
because
you
they
scared
were
of ugly people?
Yeah, I'm scared, especially ones that are trying to eat
They're
children.
not ugly people. They're literally monsters, Jack.
Well, they're silly monsters,
But
and
it
that's
wasn't
clear.
it wasn't silly to
It
me.
wasn't-
I don't
it
think
was
I got the
scary.
humor when I was little.
Yeah.
It was so funny, I think, because maybe it's because my young gayness, and I was just like, "That's Bette Midler, that's correct."
Yeah.
And I just immediately was like, "Yep, love this."
Yeah.
Like I
No,
remember
watching it
the first
now-
time I ever watched it in the car, and like I was literally like, "This is the best movie ever."
Watching it now, I love it. Like
Yeah.
it's so much fun. And like you said, SJP is just perfection.
Perfection.
She is so funny. She's always doing something funny in every frame she's in.
She's a live wire. Like I was watching her 90% of the time, and she has like probably the least lines of the two.
Yeah,
of them,
she
of the
doesn't.
three of them.
And when she's speaking, she's just repeating something like amok, 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 amok.
I love that. I love that. Vic.
Okay, okay, crazy.
the child.
Yeah.
She has done her chore.
Here we go.
The way I could do that entire opening
Oh,
sequence.
yeah, you could.
Oh, I could. And then another question. We got to talk about the sequel. The first movie made in 1993. The second movie made in 2022.
Whoa, wait.
Which is crazy.
How did I miss this?
That's so nuts. That was another problem I had. I was like, y'all are trying to make them look like they did 30 years ago. Unfortunately, that's not how aging works. So they don't look like that. And making them try to is sort of making it weird.
Okay.
The plot of the second one, of which I could not get through, was these two girls.
Ugh, I'm out.
Yep. Does a shitty sequel ruin a good original? A perfect original?
No, but sometimes it's like, guys, just let it be.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, it doesn't ruin it, but it kind of tarnishes it. Does that make sense? It just makes me feel a little whack.
Yeah. It's like, I wish this wasn't part of the story.
I wish this didn't exist in the franchise at all.
Yeah.
And I say
you
that
can just
because
ignore it. You can just pretend that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'll ignore it. Steven Spielberg, however, famously said he would never do a sequel to E.T. because he feels like if he ever did, it would ruin the perfection of the first. And I think that is a rule more people should adhere to.
Well, yeah, I mean, that the greater conversation is like, we don't need to do sequels to everything. And we also don't need to do reboots to everything. We don't need to do remakes. We need to be prioritizing new IP. That's to all the studio heads who I know listen to this. Thank you.
Tessington, any opinions on that?
No, but I did think that the interesting plot twist at the end, that daylight savings kind of saved the day, was a highlight for me.
No, literally, Tess,
I was
thought
like,
the same thing.
I was like, that's really smart.
I go, did daylight savings write this?
I was like, daylight savings saving
Why
the
was
day
it
is so funny.
It was an ad for daylight
They were like,
savings.
you forgot about daylight savings.
Also,
and I was
sorry
like,
to like be the actually, but is that one daylight savings?
yeah, it's like around that.
It is around
Yeah,
that?
fall
Okay,
back.
okay, okay.
Fall back.
Like, in 1993, it could have been on Halloween.
Totally.
Max does a great job of being resourceful. He's that. He's a resourceful king. He realizes they don't know anything. It's been 300 years. Like, he uses his burning rain of death line right in the beginning to get them out of there in the first place. Remember, he's like, the burning rain of death, and it's literally just the sprinklers.
Right.
Like, those are his tricks, the whole
That's
movie.
a California in
That's
him.
sort of his tricks. All right, I do want to hear, because there's a lot of good sequences in this that are really iconic. We talked about I Put a Spell on You briefly, obviously. What are the best bits or, like, you know, general little, like, because I feel like this movie is really, like, sequenced. There's the school part. There's the
Here we
opening
go.
sequence.
Here we go.
There's
Sequences.
I would always sing the part Sarah Jessica Parker sings when she's like luring the children. Come, little children, I'll take the. I could sing the whole. I mean, 'cause that's
Give us
actually
a
the whole
little
thing.
taste.
That's actually all she says over and over again, isn't it? Into the God of enchantment. So no,
when she's
I love
doing the
that.
dance on her broom.
Yeah,
She looks
exactly.
gorgeous.
so
Gorgeous.
iconic. I used to love that too as a kid. I was like, I love that.
I also love that Winifred only really gets upset when she's called ugly. It's really fun. That bit was so funny.
A quote I have to say, because this is an unsung hero line in my opinion, in the very beginning, Thackeray Banks goes to her, "You hag! All the children in the world couldn't make thee young and beautiful." And she goes, "Hag! Oh, sisters, did you hear what he called you?" So good.
That's really good. I love when they do the what is it called? Like the circle of calmness, or like
Yes, the calming circle.
the calming circle. And Mary is like, "You need to calm down," and she's like, "I'm calm.
I am calm.
It's like, but just that, like, God, those comedic flips are so good. They're so tight with it all.
Yep.
Really sharp.
the virgin bit, or them saying sister,
Sister.
just like that. Sister.
And when they walk, they're just
so good. So good.
I
Oh,
also-
so good. So good.
I also love, because it can be done so poorly, but when they say the name of the movie in the movie,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a bit of hocus pocus.
Yeah, she really threw it away.
Yeah,
It was good.
That was a good one.
It was
Yeah.
perfect too, because I mean, it must show the omnipotence of them being, because he said it right before he lights the candle. Come on, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Yeah.
Lights the candle, and she knows that he said that, so she's mocking him. So it's like, okay, yeah, they were dead and they were there. They were sort of there at the house.
Right.
Kind of love
Really
that.
nice use of the word omnipotence.
Really quick, where are they now?
Okay.
Where are they?
Because these are some huge people, mostly. So
I
Bette
looked one of
Midler,
them up.
obviously huge career. She sort of has an EGOT, so EGT, no O. Emmy, Grammy,
Emmy,
Grammar,
Grammar, Tony.
Grammy, no Oscar, but has many nominations, and a Tony for Hello Dolly, which is iconic.
Sony.
Has done so much. I mean, Bette Midler speaks for herself. Sarah Jessica Parker, obviously we know this was pre-Sex and the City, so Sex and the City was like 5 years later. She won 2 Emmys for that.
And it was post Annie.
It was post Annie. Omri Katz. So this is an interesting one because I thought maybe drugs, something crazy. Because like,
Wait, why did you think that?
because he just has done nothing
Oh.
else.
The boy.
So Omri Katz,
The
that's
boy.
Max. I was like, why do you have no other credits? Like the only explanation to me is like you had a crash out and
Sure.
like completely went off the rails. No, he chose to leave the industry because he grew up in it and he felt like people knew his parts and not him. So he just wanted to like be a normal person,
Love
which is
that.
fair. So he
Cannot
was
relate.
a hairdresser, and I'm a little bit like gay. And then
Jack,
also
we're throwing around a lot of allegations in this segment.
he also has a weed cultivation and merchandise company called the Merry Danksters. So iconic.
Okay, so you were sort of right.
Yep.
With
And
the
then
drugs.
Thora Birch, which is Dani, the little sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a cutie.
We know her
Icon.
because she's in American Beauty, which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh my god.
Yep, exactly. You don't know it till you know it, but then when you know it, you're like, wait, I can't unknow it.
What about that 40-year-old bully who stole his shoes?
Now that was crazy.
He was so old. I was
So
like,
old.
you cannot try to tell me that's a high schooler.
They are such a
Please.
good bit part, though.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
two,
they're very good.
I fucking love them.
Good bullies.
Love bullying in
Good
that
classic.
time.
I'm Jay.
One of the quotes I wrote was, he was like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, what did he say? Maybe you can learn to breathe through your nose. Like that's so good.
This is a great line.
The
I told
insults.
you, my name ain't Ernie no more. It's ice.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like-
This is ice.
Bully bits are good.
Bully bits are good. So, unfortunately, I think it's come time for me to make my pitch.
Okay.
Fortunately for me. This is why Hocus Pocus should win the Betchy for Best Nostalgic Spooky Movie. And Hocus Pocus should win the Betchy because it is a fabulous character comedy with three of the most iconic actresses in Hollywood who all aged even more gracefully and had even more success afterwards. It's retroactively camp, which is a category we invented for this movie. There's musical numbers, but it doesn't
Halfway.
overtake the plot. There's amazing practical effects and CGI and tons of comedy and incredible characterization that deserve more flowers than it got. It also has remained an iconic Halloween movie for all these years and only grown more iconic with time.
1. That's time.
That's time, and I
Really
got it.
good.
I
Wow.
ate it up.
That was good. You ate that up.
Yep. So for next week, guys, we will be talking about Brian. What are we talking about?
Halloweentown.
Halloweentown with Brian Russell Smith as the host.
Does everyone have a ranking in their head so far?
Absolutely.
For scary. Well,
I have a ranking.
we know you do, sweetie.
Can you guess?
These are so two very different movies.
Yes.
Scary Movie and
Scary
Hocus
movie, Hocus Pocus.
Halloweentown feels like
Halloweentown.
it fits right in with Hocus Pocus.
We also have Practical
And then we
Magic
have
coming
Practical
up.
Magic, another sort of dark horse.
Haven't watched that yet. Unclear how I'll feel about it.
Have you seen it?
Never.
Oh,
fun watch.
You're
I'm
gonna like
excited.
it.
Yay! That's a wrap on Betches Video Club. Please tune in on the Betches YouTube channel, or you can also stream us on Spotify. And make sure you're doing your homework for the next episode of Betches Video Club. And also, if you want to find us anywhere else, you can find us at
Test Trag.
At Brian Russell Smith.
At Madeline_Mahoney.
and at the Jack Maloney, but today at Winifred Sanderson.
Okay.
I smell child. What does thou call that? A child. Dead man's toe and make it a fresh one. Dead man's toe. Dead man's toe. We are doomed. I feel the chilling kiss of death on my neck. Take me so I can say goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, shutters. Goodbye. Book. Wait. And there's one other sleeper hit. No one cares about this line. I do. She goes, "A little girl who called me ugly." She goes, "She doesn't even know me. I've always, I think I wanted a child to roast." In the name of
All right, really good
Yeah,
job.
that's for me. That was
All
one for me.
Proud
Thanks,
of you.
guys.